Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of Loddy's NBA Locks. I have lots of locks for you guys today, so let's get right to it. First lock, San Antonio Spurs -3 in Orlando. Spurs are playing well right now, winners of 5 of their last 6. Of course, all those games have been at home, and the Spurs have struggled on the road, but they've developed enough of a rhythm now playing at home that I think it will carry over into Orlando. They're without one of their best players, the Magic is, in Nikolai Vucevic. They beat the Spurs earlier this season, the Magic did, so I'm betting on Greg Popovich not to lose both times this season to Orlando. Lock number 1, San Antonio Spurs -3 in Orlando. Lock number 2, Indiana Pacers +5 in Toronto. Okay, so the Pacers had a 7-game win streak snapped by the Cavs last night. I believe they were looking past the Cavs and towards this game against the Raptors. Pacers are not being brought up when people are talking about legitimate contenders in the Eastern Conference, and yet they've beaten the Sixers, they've beaten the Bucks, and they've beaten the Celtics. This game matters more to the Pacers than it does to the Raptors. The next time they play, it will mean a lot to the Raptors because they will have lost to the Pacers already, but they're giving 5 points, so I'm going to take them. The Raptors, by the way, are without Lowry and Serge Ibaka. They haven't played well without Lowry this season. Valanciunas is out as well, so they'll be thin up front. Lock number 2, Indiana Pacers +5 in Toronto. Lock number 3, Detroit Pistons +5.5 in Minnesota. So the Wolves haven't been great coming off of double-digit victories. 3-4 in those games. They're 1-3 after wins by more, should say more, not mo, than 15 points. While the Pistons haven't won a game on the road in over a month. They're due for a road win. They've lost 8 of their last 9. They're a streaky team. The loss in their last game against Milwaukee was the first time all season where the Pistons didn't follow up a win that came after a losing streak with another win, losing by 3 at home to Milwaukee. Let's take a look at the Pistons this season. Start the game off with a winning streak, losing streak, win streak, loss, win, lose, win streak, losing streak. So they're a streaky team that I believe is about to get hot. A couple shots fall, a couple calls go their way, and they win that game against Milwaukee. They have a good chance to win tonight in Minnesota, but I'll take the points for lock number 3, Detroit Pistons +5.5. Lock number 4, Milwaukee Bucks -8 at home against the Pelicans. Pelicans already lack depth, and tonight they'll be without their third and fourth best players in Julius Randle and Nikola Mirotic, and they've been horrendous on the road with a 4-11 record in road games. The Bucks will be without Malcolm Brogdon and Ersan Ilyasova. First of all, those guys aren't nearly as valuable to the Bucks as Mirotic and Randle are to the Pelicans. And secondly, role players play better at home than they do on the road. So the others, as Shaq would say, who stole the term from Phil Jackson, play a lot better at home than they do on the road. Milwaukee takes this one comfortably for lock number 4, Milwaukee Bucks -8 at home against Pelicans. Lock number 5, Utah Jazz +2 at home against the Golden State Warriors. Okay, so the sports books in Vegas want equal money being wagered on both sides. If equal money is bet both ways, then Vegas wins no matter the outcome. That's why when the line opens up, if 80% or more of the betting public is taking the Warriors -3, you'll start to see that number move up to 3.5, 4 to attract more people to Utah, so there's equal money both ways. First of all, I said 80% because if the split is 65-35, it will probably move, but if it doesn't, it's hard to know when the split is only 65-35. It's hard to know if 65% necessarily means more money is being bet that way. The people on the 35% could be risking more money than the people on the 65% side. But if the split is 80-20 or more, you can be fairly certain more money is going on the 80% side. So why is the line moving down even though 84% of the betting public is taking the Warriors money line and now 66%, down from 76% just a couple hours ago, of the betting public is taking the Warriors with the spread? One of 3 things is happening. Number 1, there's an injury or players are resting for the Warriors and the odds makers know that, in which case this is not a lock. Number 2, the odds makers feel confident about the Jazz and are fading the public, going for a big win against the betting public. Or a respected player, someone who bets and wins big against a sportsbook, known as a sharp, is taking the Jazz. So to reiterate, the money is going on the Warriors, and yet the number's going down, making the Warriors a more attractive bet. That makes no sense. Either way, you're putting your money down on what the sportsbook thinks will happen, or you're putting your money down on a bet placed by someone who makes a killing betting on sports. Again, if the reverse line movement is because of an injury, that changes the equation entirely. So wait until the final injury reports are out, but if there's nothing else that can explain this reverse line movement, then lock number 5 is the Utah Jazz +2 at home against the Golden State Warriors. Final lock, Oklahoma City Thunder minus 5.5. Firstly, for this to be a lock, Shumpert and Bogdanovich can't play. They're both listed as questionable. The Kings are having a terrific season. They have a solid 9-man rotation and pieces that fit well together. They're not a great team, though. Great teams can withstand a few injuries. Teams like the Kings are an injury or two away from being one of the worst teams in the league, and they'll be without Marvin Bagley tonight for sure. I believe they're good enough to withstand his loss, but they won't be successful without Shumpert and Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich is a sniper. He spaces the floor. Buddy Hield gets better looks when he's out there. De'Aaron Fox, not a good three-point shooter, has more space to operate. Can't be doubled as often with him out there. And Shumpert is a dog. He's a lockdown defender, part of the heart and soul of this team. Plus, the Thunder have lost both times this season to the Kings. They won't lose a third time. Lock number 6 and final lock today, Oklahoma City Thunder minus 5.5 against the Sacramento Kings. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll be posting one NHL lock a little bit later. Stay tuned and be sure to tune in again tomorrow.
Major key alert!